What happens when you mix television's most wholesome neighbor with one of the most aggressive music genres on the planet? It's an idea so specific and strange, you'd think it was a joke. And it was, until it, wasn't. You get Okilly Dokilly, the world's only nettle band. Today, because you guys requested it, let's take a look at the unlikely history of how a band that started as a gag ended up with a song on an actual episode of the TV show The Simpsons.
To sing like Ned Flanders, or at least in Okilly Dokilly, you channel everything that is not Ned Flanders. All of the pent-up hatred from never getting your power tools back, from trips to the post office, from constant encounters with footlongs, and you take and you kind of push that with the diaphragm, and from there you can scream all the diddlies that you want.
The story of the group starts in Phoenix, Arizona, with a group of 5 men all performing under the same variation of the name Ned. You have Head Ned on vocals, and over the years, a rotating cast of neighbors like Shred Ned, Dread Ned, and Bed Ned. Their uniform is instantly recognizable: a green sweater, a pink-collared shirt, gray slacks, and of course, the perfectly trimmed mustache. But the gimmick goes much deeper than just the look. Their music is a blistering and surprisingly tight brand of metalcore built entirely around the character of Ned Flanders from The Simpsons. They even coined their own subgenre, nettle, which frontman Head Ned once described as not as fast as Bartcore and a little cleaner than Krusty Punk. The real genius of the band, however, is in the lyrics. Nearly every single word screamed in their songs is a direct quote from Ned Flanders himself. For those unfamiliar with The Simpsons, Ned Flanders is the Simpson family's relentlessly cheerful, good-natured, and devoutly religious next-door neighbor. He is a pillar of the Springfield community, known for his signature catchphrases like Howdilly ho neighborino and Okilly Dokilly. Generally loathed by the show's protagonist, Homer Simpson, imagine cheerful Flanderisms like Godspeed, little doodle, transformed into a brutal breakdown.
Godspeed, little doodle.
He'll be back.
We got one more little song. We call it Godspeed, little doodle.
This is the core appeal of Okilly Dokilly, taking the most docile character imaginable and channeling his rare repressed frustrations into pure cathartic metal. It was an idea so out there, it's a miracle that it ever became a reality.
On the VCR, I'd hit rewind, I'd grab my guitar, I'd listen to just the syncopation and like the rhythm of diddly, 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 and I'd just try to kind of figure it out.
The birth of the world's only nettle band wasn't forged in some fiery metal underworld, but funny enough, it happened in the checkout line of a grocery store. The band's 2 founders, who would become Head Ned and Bled Ned, were brainstorming ridiculous names for a metal band. They wanted something that sounded incredibly polite to contrast with a brutally heavy sound. It would become the heaviest sounding band any of the musicians from Arizona had played in. Head Ned told one publication, "The name Okilly Dokilly came up and was very funny to us. We ran with it. From there, the idea snowballed. If the band was named Okilly Dokilly, the frontman had to be Ned Flanders. They chose Ned not just for his famous catchphrases, but because he represented the absolute furthest point on the cultural spectrum from a metal frontman. Metal has often been associated with rebellion and darkness, while Ned Flanders is a God-fearing, relentlessly cheerful do-gooder who drinks white wine spritzers when he feels crazy. It was a joke, but it was a joke that they were suddenly determined to take very, very seriously. In an interview with Rip It Up, Head Ned joked that they only started the band to get creator of The Simpsons Matt Groening's signature, even if it was attached to a cease and desist letter. Now, when it came to whether they were legally allowed to use Ned Flanders' likeness, the members admitted they weren't sure whether what they were doing was legal or not. I would imagine that they would be protected under fair use since it's clearly a parody. With the concept locked in, the real work began. Their first task was perfecting the look. This wasn't a costume party, it was a uniform for all of its members. They sourced the green sweaters, pink shirts, and spectacles, and they all grew the signature Flanders mustache. Musically, the challenge was turning Flanders quotes into metal anthems. This involved deep dives into the Simpsons archives, with the band members meticulously cataloging every diddly and doodly. Their debut album, released in 2016, was appropriately titled Howdilly Doodilly. It was a 13-track album in absurdity, featuring songs with titles pulled directly from the show, like All That Is Left, an ode to Ned's left-handed store, the Leftorium.
Surprisingly, people are grabbing things with both hands, suggesting it's not just southpaws in this rampaging mob. feels like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Quit it! Must wash eyes!
Their commitment was total, and this scholarly level fandom was expressed through the medium of metal. It was 2015, and before they even performed on stage, Okilly Dokilly introduced themselves to the world by putting out a 4-song demo and a few press photos online. What happened next was something they never could have predicted. The internet discovered them, and the concept went viral. Within 2 weeks, the band had nearly 30,000 fans on Facebook, and publications like Billboard and Time Magazine, all the way to the BBC, were writing about them. They were a global phenomenon before their first gig. Head Ned reflected on this, telling Loudersound, "I never mixed anything before. My girlfriend took the photos, and I did all the photo editing as well. We might have polished it a little more had we known, but we were just excited to get it done and release it. This was a fun side project for us, and we're absolutely humbled by the attention it got. The pressure was immense, but the first sold-out show was a success, packed with curious onlookers and new fans who became dressed as bonus Neds. Their live shows were a whirlwind of energy, with surreal sight of 5 Ned Flanders lookalikes headbanging in unison. The music video for their lead single, White Wine Spritzer, became an internet sensation, racking up millions of views and perfectly capturing their blend of brutality and comedy."
And for you, Ned?
I'll have a Shirley... a virgin... No, what the heck? You only live once. Give me a white wine spritzer.
Because of the press attention they received, they went on tour across the US and in the UK, driving from show to show in a van that they referred to as Ned Vanders. For any project inspired by The Simpsons, there's one holy grail: to actually be featured or acknowledged by the show itself. Okilly Dokilly toured the world and released a second album, Howdilly Doodilly, in 2019. Now, when it comes to writing songs for their records, the band has 2 strict criteria. The Ned Flanders quotes have to sound dark, especially if taken out of context. Or the complete opposite. It can sound so ridiculous you wouldn't expect it in a metal song. They were an established act, but the final piece of the puzzle was still missing. Thanks to a Google alert, Al Jean, an executive producer for The Simpsons, had seen their video for White Wine Spritzer and loved it. On April 7, 2019, the dream became a reality. During the end credits of the season 30 episode, I'm Just a Girl Who Can't Say Dough, the music video for White Wine Spritzer replaced the show's traditional theme. There it was, 5 men dressed as Ned Flanders screaming his own words as an official part of the show's legacy. In a press release, Head Ned expressed his disbelief, stating, "The fact that the White Wine Spritzer video appeared on an episode of The Simpsons is still unreal to us." He added to Rolling Stone, "I'm very much in disbelief. It's just like this is a strange alternate universe, and I'm going to wake up the next day and it's like, no, you didn't start the Ned Flanders band." And I'll be like, well, all right, at least my imagination knows how to have a good time. Speaking of the Simpsons characters, what other resident of Springfield do you think deserves their own metal band? Mayor Quimbycore, a brutal death metal band fronted by groundskeeper Willie? Let me know your best ideas in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this neighborly story, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Following their monumental appearance on the show, Okilly Dokilly continued to tour the world. The band was never just about the gimmick, though. At its heart, it was a group of talented musicians who found a truly original way to express their love for 2 seemingly incompatible things. In 2022, after 7 years together, 2 albums, and almost 250 shows, the band announced they would be going on an indefinite hiatus following one final tour, aptly titled Tour Diddly Do 22. They went out on a high note, having proven that even the silliest idea can become a success story. Head Ned recalled, "It's time to shave off the Ned mustache and grow the dad mustache." The story of Okilly Dokilly shows the world that if you lean into the absurd hard enough, you might just find yourself becoming part of the very legacy you set out to celebrate. That brings us to the end of today's video, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in Rock Roll True Stories. Take care.